Now we send vast amounts of data, right, through the Wi-Fi, like radio frequency and all that. Qi is informational. So let's think about that for a second. Energy coursing through our body, and it's telling your body, all the organs, what to do and what's supposed to be happening, and if this happened, adapting to the environment and so forth, right? All right, that's right. So you can go through your life, never worry about it, as long as you're healthy. You get sick. The sickness, we call it disruption to the qi flow, because the energy has to flow and circulate and get to where it's supposed to go. And the disruption is called stagnation. Now, once it's stagnation, there's a disconnection. So then that organ doesn't get the signal, proper messaging, and now it's going to malfunction. And that happens with organs, and cancer can occur, and all kinds of issues can happen. Now, if this is happening, and you are an intelligent human being that recognizes that, oh, I've got energy, my energy is disrupted, what do I need to do to restore health? Well, the easiest thing to restore health is to restore that flow so that the signal is coming back to normal, right? So we do that through acupuncture, we can do it through body work, we can do it through movement, right? The Qigong and the Tai Chi and the Taoist yoga and meditation. So now the meditation part of it's interesting, because what if you visualize? What if you put messaging into your body to get it to be restored again? But remember, it's all signaling. It's all energy. So at the end of the day, healing, right? And that's why Qi is so fundamental to Chinese medicine, because we believe that healing starts in the mind and the body, follow, right? And we don't call it the mind, we call it the spirit, the Shen, because we recognize that there's something that is sort of beyond the mind. The mind is like an instrument, but the spirit behind is what's driving the mind, right? And so this is the one thing that patients will come in and says, Doc, I have no control over my mind. I say, well, actually you do. The mind is really just an instrument. So it's like an electric guitar. You can make a lot of noise and then it drives you nuts, or you can create beautiful melodies. What do you want to do, right? You have the power to transform, to change. So the healing really works with Qi, energy, because we're energy beings. That's what we are. But as soon as that energy is done, finished, flatline, we're done also. So very important concept. You want to live long and you want to stay healthy, you have to keep your Qi strong and flowing and abundant. And you got to keep cultivating, keep refining that Qi.
Yeah, this is fascinating for me because this is not something you would talk to a traditional doctor about, right? Beyond the question. I mean, energy in general, and this is just fascinating for me. But when it comes to Qi, particularly in terms of how TCMs view it, is Qi the energy that's revolving internally inside of me, or is it something that's also emitting towards out there? Because I see certain people and I meet people and you have a certain energy frequency to them. Sometimes it's low, sometimes it's like you just have a certain energy, you just feel it, everybody feels it, but you can't explain it. There's nothing tangible there that you can explain with science, but it's there. Can you kind of go deeper into how Qi can evolve internally, or is it something that we're also emitting?
It's both. It's both. So if you think about it, right, as a energy organism, we're constantly absorbing energy from everywhere else, our environment. If you walked in the forest and you lean your, back against a tree and you sit there for a while, you feel something come into you. You feel energy. You feel enlivened. There's something really positive about that. In fact, the Japanese have this practice called forest bathing. They literally go into the forest and allow their whole being to be bathed by the energy of the forest. And it's measurable. You can actually see, the brain waves change as you're coming in that state. Now, you talked about how you can, kind of interface with different people and you feel different things from them, right? And it's not just in your imagination, it's actually happening because the energy fields of two people coming together, they overlap. And so there is an influence. There's studies that were done, and this is a very common phenomenon. In a room, 20 people, and one person with severe depression. But nobody knows who that person is. But within an hour, everybody will start to feel depressed. There is this phenomenon where we will begin to tune into each other's energy field and feel how that person feels. This is why you walk into a room and you go, this is a great crowd. Or you walk into a room and say, oh, did someone die here? I mean, what happened here, right?
Right.
I mean, like really, you could feel. So there's an exchange of energy happening all the time. I find that for me personally, and I encourage people to do this, go out into nature so that you can get your energy field recharged, right? Because it's like recharging a battery. How do you recharge your battery? Well, yes, besides eating right, sleeping, and so forth, you really need to kind of be in the sun, right? You got to get the sun, go outside, go into nature, absorb chi. And in fact, we have practices, meditation practices that harvest solar, lunar, ocean, forest, trees, earth, mountain. I mean, all the energies, and they all represent different type of energy. And what's unique about this is that we're able to now, through science, begin to measure what is emitting out of all the areas, right? I mean, yes, near the ocean, you got the negative ions. You're going to feel the same way. Trees, actually, through their photosynthesis, they are giving you oxygen, but besides that, they also have energetic fields. And on the earth, you take your shoes off and walk on, bare feet on grass. You reconnect with the Earth's EMF, electromagnetic field, which is pulses at 7.2 hertz, very similar to what the body needs to be. We need to be in sync. And so there are so many of these touch points. And the problem of living in a city is that we get very disconnected from nature. And so, but that's okay. You can still go to the park, right, down the street from you. And there's beautiful trees, and just be there, listen to the children play and laugh. And I mean, just get out of your mind and decompress. This is part of health.
Yeah, because there's a lot of high performers listening to this show where they do everything right. They're on the latest biohacking trends. They're taking the right supplements. They're sleeping well, but obviously they're overworked. So they're doing all the right things, but they still don't feel aligned and alive, right? Maybe they feel a little burnout. Perhaps it's because of their chi. How would you diagnose someone that is doing all the right things, typically, prototypically, but just doesn't feel alive, doesn't feel the energy?
The first thing you notice is, how do you wake up, right? I mean, when you wake up in the morning, you should feel alive and excited about the day. But most of people will probably wake up and hit the snooze button, being offended by the alarm, and just kind of forcing themselves to jump up and get the coffee down and so forth to get going, right? But if you truly have good chi, you wake up naturally without the need of alarm, and you feel rested and ready to go for your day, like really abundant, right? That's the key. And so I can totally relate. For a while there, I was doing all of that. I was overtraining. I was working too much. For a while, for about 20 years there, I was writing a book a year.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And that's like,
I worked hard.
Yeah, well, that's working 6 days a week and seeing tons of patients, and then teaching, and then running a school, and and the practices, as well as we had multiple offices, and then also a publishing house and a supplement company, and all of it, right? And I slept 4 hours a day, 4 hours a night, 4 or 5 hours. And I was just burning my candles from both ends. And I did everything.